Well, let's take a look at how to use Course Compass to teach online. Now, I've went ahead and signed into my courses here. There's two ways you can create a new course. One of them is you can copy an existing one. And if I look at my courses I have here on the left, you'll see each one of them has a course ID. Like this one is Hayes 16155. This one is Hayes 03001. So they all have their own different one. Now, the default on it is it takes your last name and then puts some kind of 5-digit number on after that. It doesn't go sequentially or anything, so it looks like it randomly assigns it. This is the course ID you're going to need to give your students. This is what they need to sign on to onto your course. Well, let me show copying a course. So like this one right here. I did that just because I don't have memory and I don't have paper handy here, but I would jot down that number. I click the Create Copy Course button, and the assumption is you're copying maybe from another instructor. If you do it from your own, then it's a lot easier. But see, here's a copy a course, so I click that. When I said it's when you copy one of your own, it's a lot easier. See how it says copy one of your existing courses, and then you have a drop-down list here. So it works out really nice there. More than likely, you probably, if you're teaching online for the first time, you don't have your own courses, so you need to copy somebody else's. So I'll come here and I type in that number, or that ID, I should say. And once you get that, then you click Go. Now, it doesn't copy over all the students and all their grades and everything, it just copies over the course information. And you see it here, it has all the different items it tells you it's copying over. And then you click the Continue. Give it some kind of course name. This is what the students will see. So, you know, maybe this is College Algebra, MTH 4420, OL 45, Spring 2013. Give it some kind of description if you want. That's probably mainly for you to remember what in the world the course is for. For student enrollment, you could say instructor use only also. Enrollment start date. When do you want them to start enrolling? If you click here, it pops up with a calendar. And let's say, I don't know, what am I doing? January 9th. Enrollment end date. I click this. If there's a end at last time you want them to be able to enroll in the course, then you can choose it. I'll just put May 15th. And then this is when they can enroll in it. This is when it actually starts. Now, for purposes of our college, those are one and the same. So I'll just do this as 1/9. You can go in later and change these if you need to. Course end date. This is kind of up to you what you want to do here. I usually don't put mine as 5/15. I put it further out so they can look at the grades after the semester's done. Now that might create some confusion with them thinking they can work on it past that date. So that's kind of your choice. And then if you want to make it available for other instructors to copy, like somebody emails you and say, hey, what's your course ID? I want to copy that because I'm going to be teaching that this semester. Then you want to click that for available for copy. And then you click Create Course Now. Now this gives you your course ID, and you should jot this down. This is what you need to give to your students. And I would recommend that over in the LMS that you only put that in one place. Do not put it in a bunch of places. Maybe just even email it out every semester. I made a mistake. I taught online from Mojave Community College, and I thought, well, the more I have that, the better, because then they, you know, if they don't see it here, they'll see it there. So there's no way they can miss a course ID. So I put it in like 3 or 4 places. That worked fine. Next semester came. I changed 3 of the places, but didn't change the 4th place. I missed it. So I had students enrolling in the old course. It was a nightmare. Since then, I've realized that having it in just one place is better. Now, this will tell you how long it will take, 1 hour to 1 business day. If I go back to your courses page, here it is, and you see it's actually already ready. So a lot of times it'll tell you it'll take that long, but it doesn't. Most of the time, I've never had it more than like 10 minutes to take to create it. Now that's one way to create it. And now when you copy an existing course, then the homework is probably already set up, and tests are set up, and so you have something to start with. Let's say I wanted to create it from scratch. Well, I can go create copy course here. And if you know your ISBN, author, title, you can search for it by that. You can also browse by discipline. I'm going to do that. And I'll choose mathematics. And I'm going to choose, what am I going to choose? Pearson? Prentice Hall. And then I'll click go. Now they have set this up for you to go ahead and choose any textbook they have set up. So you're not limited to just what your school's adopted. The reason why they've done this is because they want you to look at the course. Because you'll find that some of these MyMathLab courses are better than others. Some are hideous. Some I've signed on to, and it's just like, man, this is bad. Some are very good. So if you're getting ready to teach online, that's the way you can do it. And now some of these will tell you what it has available: tests, resources, media. Here it has an ebook, which means that the entire textbook is online. Media, resources. I'm going to choose this one, so I want one with an ebook. So say select course material, and I'll give it some kind of course name, Angel Algebra, just so I know which one it is. And click here, give these some kind of start dates. That's fine there. And then available for copy. And then I click create course now. Enrollment date is later than the... okay. Guess I should actually read what they're saying. There we go. Later than the course end date. Oh, what a proof of the course end date. Okay, let me change that. So that's what I get for just making up dates. Okay, and again, the course ID is what you want to write down. This is what you want to give to your students. And I'll go back to your courses page. Well, it's probably not done, I'm assuming. Angel. Oh, there it is over the top. It's got a little time clock on it. And you can click refresh to see how it's doing. And it's done already. Okay, now let me go into an existing course, the one I created. This one here. Now you can click details here to view details for the course, but I'll just click that. Now this is the old style setup here, and I may have even modified this a little bit to go along with that. I don't even remember. But if I click Control Panel down here, MyMathLab, this is the important part right here. You can go in here and modify various things, like see Homework Test Manager. If I click that, this will bring up this piece. This is kind of the instructor piece. And we're going to go over all of this in more detail, but I just wanted to introduce that. Now, when I close that, I come back to here. To go back to the course, there's the breadcrumbs up here, I think is what they're called, bread trail, whatever it is. See what it says College Algebra? You can click that to go back to your course. This is for the instructors. Now, this is what the students see right up here. Let me grab a drink here. Okay, so they got announcements. That's kind of obvious. So you can put announcements in here if you want. Homework. This is where they click to go do their homework. So they have different homework here. And I'll come back to that. Quizzes and tests. Yours may be different in this regard, but you'll get the idea. And here's a gradebook, so they can see what their grade is. Now, the neat part about this gradebook is that this is always up to date. When they do any problem in the homework, the minute they post that problem, it updates their gradebook. So if you're posting grades somewhere else, in the LMS or in the Campus Connect for the grades and so forth, that's fine, but don't have them rely on that as being their most current grade. This is their most current. It always is. And this is where you should tell them to go look at their grades. Here's an ebook. If I click the ebook, this will bring up, and it'll look different in different courses, but it's kind of the same idea. Brings up chapters, so I can click chapter 1. Then I click 1.2 linear equations. You can watch a video presentation. Now I don't think you'll be able to hear this because it's going in my headphones. But blah blah blah.
Hello, you need to find out.
And they're going.
So we ask ourselves, what's the least common denominator between these terms?
Working a problem.
Sometimes when you're solving a question.
Now you may have noticed that wasn't too big, was it? 7 minutes and 42 seconds. Well, that may not be an entire lecture that maybe they're used to. Maybe it is that amount of time. I've created my own video lectures online, and I find that when you don't have to take attendance, you do not have to answer questions, you do not have to wait for the slowest student in the class to catch up with you. Your hour-long presentation all of a sudden gets squeezed down to like 20-25 minutes. It's unreal. Now here's a multimedia textbook section. If you click that, let's see, yeah, it brings up basically a textbook. And you can go to different pages here. Now they can also print this. I wouldn't recommend it. If they're going to go through and print most of the book, then they should just go ahead and buy the book. They're going to find it a lot cheaper than the paper and the ink cartridges. And I've never used really a track tutorial, so I couldn't tell you what that is, or study plans and so forth. Tools for success. This oftentimes has some very nice information in it, like graphing calculator help. It'll give you manuals, tutorials, and so forth. Multimedia library. Anyway, that's what students are seeing. Now let's take a look at homework a little bit closer. I think these are opened up, so I can go ahead and take them. I think I clicked that. Maybe I didn't. Okay. So I'll click P.5. Tells me it's past due. You can set up the homework such that they can work on it past the due date, or you can close it off. That's up to you. Now you see these ones with the little film icon to the side? Those have video clips. So if I click question 1, excuse me. MyMathLab is meant for the student to be sitting there working the problem. It's not meant for them to print it off and go do it on the kitchen table. And maybe I can make this a little bit bigger. That didn't help. It says factor the polynomial using the greatest common factor. If there's no blah blah blah. Okay. So select choice below and fill in your blanks. So you can choose prime, or you can choose here. Now if I click on this blank here, there's a little equation editor over here. And let me factor out 7, or not 2. And then I'll put a beginning parentheses, and then 7x plus 8. Okay. Let's check your answer. It says, whoa, that's not correct. It gives you a hint. Start by finding the largest integral divides all the coefficients, and identify the common variables, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I look back at that, and I see, okay, 14 and 35. Okay, yeah, that's 7. 7 is what comes out of that. So then you do 2x like that, and then you put plus 5. And then you click check answer. It says fantastic, got it right. So then you can go on to the next problem. Now you don't have to save it; it automatically saved as you did that. Factor the greatest common factor. So I come down here. I say, okay, I'm gonna factor something out. I don't know. 3 again. And x. Now to do a squared, see over here, you got the superscript. If I click that, it put that up there, and then you can do a 2, and I right arrowed, and then plus 4. Click check answer. It says, okay, that's not right. This is what you need to do. And I think, okay, well, instead of 4, that should be maybe a 5. Check answer. Okay, still not right. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's 7. And then check answer. And it says, sorry, that's not correct. It gives you the correct answer and your answer, like that. And you think, okay, well, that's just great. Well, how in the world do you work it then? Well, you can click similar exercise. And when I come up here, I think, okay, well, let me try it one more time. Factor out of 4 and x. And if you do a char 2, then it actually puts in exponent mode, so it saves you a little bit of time. I do like that. I say check answer. Still says not correct. Not very helpful in the instructions, but look over here. It says help me solve this. So if I click help me solve this, it comes up, says to factor a polynomial using the greatest common factor, or to factor a polynomial using the greatest common factor, first find the greatest common factor of all of the terms. Okay. Start by finding the coefficient of the GCF. The coefficient of the GCF is largest factor divides x squared and x. Largest factor divides those. Divides this. And product of 21. Let's try this one. It says, okay, fantastic. Coefficient of the GCF is, and so if I'm looking at 21 and 28, the largest number divides into those. Okay, well, if I put 7 in, check the answer. It says fantastic. And it says the variable part of the GCF the smallest powers will contain both. So let's say I don't know this. Let me put that. And it says look for variables that divide each term of the polynomial. Variables that divide each term of the polynomial. What in the world does that mean? I click check answer again, and that's weird. I guess since it didn't actually have an answer, it didn't list that, but it shows you. It says will contain the smallest powers of x. Okay, so the variable part of this is, since this says 2 x's and this has 1 x, then we just put an x and say check answer. So then it tells us, therefore 7 is the coefficient, x is the variable part, write the expression for the GCF. The greatest common factor is 7x. Then it tells you we're going to factor out of 7x, so this would be 3x. This would be 4, like that. Using the distributive property to factor out the 7x, we get 7x times 3x plus 4. Now let me actually let me put a extra space here. Check answer. See, it handles extra spaces, which is nice. Not all packages do that. And then it talks about how we can multiply it back through. And I come back to here, and it gives us a different problem. So it doesn't just give us the answer. It shows us how to work that one, and then gives us a different problem. So then I come here, and I think, okay, 12 and 27, largest number divides into both of those is 3. And I have 1x in common, so I factor out a 4x plus, hopefully I get this right, it's kind of early. So I'm actually trying this time to get it right. Okay, good job. Okay, go to number 3. Have no clue how to work this. I can do a view and example, and this kind of walks you through an example, talking about how to do it. So that may or may not be helpful. You can actually print it too. Close that. Or I can watch a little video. Now this video clip is geared specifically around just that one problem. And
Here I want to factor
I know you
this
won't be able to
expression,
see
so I'm going to
this.
look for the greatest
Let's see how
common
this is
factor
at
first.
24
And I can
seconds.
say I have a 10 and also an x in common. So if I divide out a 10 and an x,
She's
dividing
talking about
the
factoring
3
out.
and the x's will divide out So my first factor is 10x.
Now it's not exactly like this, but it's giving you the same concept. If you want to click the textbook will take you to that part of the textbook where this is talking about that, where we're factoring out GCF. And if you want to ask my instructor, you cannot. A student cannot figure this out. They can click Ask My Instructor. Not all courses have this. You can shut this off if you want. And personally, at our college, we like to have some kind of tracking to if they have a student who says the instructor never contacted them, that there's some kind of trail so the administration can see what was going on. When you do this, it's going to your personal email. There's no kind of trail and so forth. Usually, I tell my students just to email me the section number and the problem they're working on, and I can bring it up myself and see which one they're looking at. But that's kind of up to you. And then print. If I choose to print here, you can print just this question, or if you want to print the entire homework assignment, you can do that. So if you are a type person who likes to go sit at the kitchen table, you can do that. And then if I click Save, it'll save my results and come back to here. Okay, so this tells me my current score, and then I could go on to work different problems, or just click OK. And that takes me back to here. And then so I can say C score, and I'm not doing very well. Now a student can also click on quizzes and tests to change to whatever chapter tests been set up, and take those. Let me close that now. So that's how students do homework. And quizzes and tests, I think I set this up so it'll be opened. Let me take the chapter 1 test. Okay, it won't let me. It says contact your instructor for further information. I think that's Gradebook. Let me show the Gradebook now. Hopefully it'll show me. Let me see my grade, even though I'm an instructor. See, it lists all my sections, how I'm doing, how long I spent on them. As an instructor, you can actually see how much time they've spent on it, and what date they worked on it. You can review what they're doing. So if you click the review here, well, actually, I shouldn't get that yet. That's from an instructor standpoint. From a student standpoint, they can come and review what they've been doing. Now you can show overall score up here, and based upon the category weights, then that'll show them how everything was generated. And let me click that, close that, and that's from a student standpoint. That's basically what they're doing. Let me grab a drink, and then we'll take a look at the instructor side. Okay, now I'm an instructor. I come into here, and pretty well from an instructor standpoint, you ignore this top stuff. You go to the tools for the instructors. So you click on Control Panel. Now you can do various things here. Like here's a discussion board, course tools, create, remove, course home, messages. You can modify the course menu, which is what I did on this particular one. Like the modify course menu here. I hit a lot of these because I don't use discussion boards. Let me modify discussion boards. Discussion's a big thing a lot of people like to do. Math topics. You can give it your own name. Available for students. Click that and click submit. I would encourage you just to copy test courses and just play. You cannot screw anything up because they want you to play with it. They want you to learn. They want you to see the benefits of using Course Compass. So now if I click that, I guess comes back here. You see I now have a math topics where I could have discussion boards. I've never used this, so I couldn't even begin to tell you how to do it. I assume you click Add Form. Do you like math? Do you like math? Give it some kind of description. Well, anonymous posts. Allow author to modify the message after posting. Allow the author to remove their own posted messages, file attachments, moderate, normal, block, unblock. Forums, not sure what that is. Suppose if I use discussions, then I could actually tell you. Okay, so then we have our form now. So when they click this, they can come here, and assuming they click that, and they can post something. And it is the best thing in the world. Math rules, but I cannot spell. There we go. And then I'll click submit. Okay. So you can do discussions right within here. Now I'm going to click Control Panel. The main area you use in teaching online math is this one right here. Gradebook, Homework Test Manager, Study Plan Manager. Let me go to Gradebook first. Now you put your different students in here, and there's only me, unfortunately. But you'd see all of your roster here. And I shouldn't say you put it in there. When they sign up for your course, it automatically appears here. Then they can click on whichever student they want to go to. Like I'll click to myself. And come here, and this lists all of our assignments and tests, and so forth. Now if I come here, I can review what they did. This is why when students have questions, I just tell them to email me the section number and the problem, because I can come here and click the review and then see the exact problems they were working on. So if I come to number 2, I can see, okay, this is what they're working on. And if they get it wrong, I should have did one wrong, just left the answer wrong there. Then I could see it. You can also, in some cases, change their grade, like if you want to give them credit. If I come here and say, okay, I've given you enough time on 1.1, I'm going to go ahead and submit that score for you. I'll give you 0. Then you can submit the score for them. If you need to change the score, you can also do that. So, okay, that was kind of harsh. They turned that in on paper for whatever reason. Give them 5 points. And of course you see their grade automatically updated. Now you can click Show Details, and you can see their grade breakdown just like they saw in their grade book. Other items you can do here. You get an email from a student saying, "Hey, could I have some more time on that? My wife just had her baby, and I got caught up with that." And it's like, oh, okay. You come here, choose Settings per Student, and click Go. And now you can choose Use Individual Class Settings, and you can change this. I'm about to type that in. 12, 1, 12. You can give it a different time too if you want. Allow students to work and change score after the due date. You can put a password there where you give them the password. Require final submission, and you can give it a time and date. Deduct late submission penalty, so you can come down here and reduce it by so many for them turning in late. And you can limit number of times students can work each question to whatever. Then I click OK. So now this is open for that student. That's about all the exciting items here. You can omit one if you want to, but there's a better place to do that than here. Now you can narrow this down if you just want to look at tests. That's handy. Then you can do that. Or you can choose all assignments again. If you come back up here, click back to Gradebook, or you can click Gradebook over here. Comes back to here, and You can view all assignments. Click homework, and this will show you all the students for that particular section, what they got on it. It shows you your percent breakdown for each one. You can change scores. If I change scores on that, there's no students enrolled, but it would list all the students, and I could change them all at once. You could also apply to selected amount of change, like if you wanted to increase it by a certain percent. Maybe you think that section is too hard and you want to increase it by 10%. Then you can do that. A lot of different options on this, and I'm kind of showing you a little bit of everything. But the main things is just you set your due dates, and then if anybody emails you and you want to move the date back to them, then you come over here and you can change the due date. Settings per student. I use that a lot. You see there's a lot of other different options here you can choose. Item analysis, review, email student. I'll go back to Gradebook. This is another one that used quite a bit. Managing completes. If I come here, if they don't do their work, unfortunately, I'm the instructor, so I can't see any of this. But they don't do any of their work. They do the first week's worth of work, and then they don't do anything else. It'll look like they have an A for the entire course, because MyMathLab won't automatically submit a 0 for them. What you have to do every week, or whatever your due date are, you go in after that, and you come here and you say select all past due, and then it says submit 0 students who have not started assignment. This particular one, you come down here and click submit, and then it would submit a 0 for any work they haven't done. Now this will not submit a 0 for work that isn't due yet. This is only past due work. And of course I don't have anything, so let me cancel out of that. And I'll kind of back up after I get done going over all this, and which I'm real close to, but and then I'll talk about what do I do on a weekly basis for when I'm teaching online. Different instructors might do different things, but anyway, that's our managing completes. Change weights. If you come here, at first, since homework is all I have, I'll put 100% on the homework. I'll put 0 over here and 0 over here, and then I'll click update. Now you can also, it tells you how much assignment each one of these is worth. So you can come here if you want that to have different weight, then you can do that. You can actually make this same as actual points on that if you want. You can omit some of them. Like if you don't want to count the chapter test reviews, you can omit it by clicking this box right here. And then you click update. And now 100% of their grade is based upon homework. So if I come back to here, go look at me. It hasn't changed any because I got zeros and it was all those other ones. But now, oops, clicked it too soon. You notice we only our homework is 100% of our weight. Then when they take their first tests, I go back into change weights, and I make the appropriate adjustment. Like I may make homework with 25% and make the test 75%. And click update. Edit roster. I don't really use this very much. Well, I never use it. But you can come here, and I suppose you can. I have no clue what you do. Make them active. I guess you can come here, and if they drop the course, I guess this is where you can set it. I'm definitely not the MyMathLab genius. I've used it quite a bit, but I don't go into all these extra options. You don't need to. Come here, you can look at all this. You can read about them. I have no clue. Okay. Now, what do I do on a weekly basis? Okay, let me exit out of this. Okay, so I come into my course, and I go into the control panel, and that's in a different location. Some of the newer styles. It's still the same idea. I go into the Gradebook. Each week, after the due date's passed, I come in and go to Managing Completes. I come here, select all past due, and I click Submit. Of course, I don't have any, so I won't do that, but that submits zeros for them. Then I come into this Overview by Student right here, and this lists all my students here, and I can see their current grade. So I use this to post grades. And beyond that, except for changing the weights, that's what I do every week in MyMathLab. Now, when I get individual emails saying they can't figure out this problem, or they think they got this right, but MyMathLab counted it wrong, I'll go in and look at those individually. But that's basically all you need to do. Let me grab a drink here. Okay. You've copied over your course, and maybe you want to make some changes. It's somebody's existing course, so it's already kind of pre-set up. Well, if I come over here, section P.5 homework, I can come here and I can choose under the actions, I can choose edit. Click go. We'd like to remove them so you can edit the assignment. Yes. And it has a title. You can change the title if you want. I'll click Next. And over here is which problems were assigned. So you can come over here, you can see which ones are assigned. If you, I don't remember if you have to select these first or not. Let me just do a preview and remove. I guess preview and remove brings all of them up. So I bring this up and I can see, okay, that one looks okay, so I'll keep that one. Click Next. I look at this one and say, I don't like that one. I'll click the Remove here. Now to remove it. Okay, I like that one, but maybe it should be worth 4 points. So I come down here to the question points and I put 4 in. Come over here, I don't like that one, I click Remove. Student to show work. I wonder what that is. That's interesting. I never have seen that. That opens up a lot of questions. You could also work problem as student, so you can see what they're doing. Student to show work. I'm gonna select that just because I'm real curious now on this one. Now click Next. Okay, when I'm all done, you can close this. Now, if I click Next, this tells you, by the way, estimated time it takes to work each of these problems. So you can see how long it takes. This one must be the hardest one, 3 minutes and 14 seconds. If I click Next, there's when it's available, due, date. There's better places to set this than here. I wouldn't set it here. You may have to put something there by default, but allow students to work and change after the due date. If you want to allow them to work on it, then you set this. If you want to allow them, but they have to have a password, then you come here and put a password. I think I did that the first semester. I put a different password first semester way back when I taught via MyMathLab. I put a different password on every assignment, because if you use the same password, then it's kind of stupid, because then we'll have the password for every assignment. It was such a managing it was just such a nightmare. I quit doing it. Require a final submission. If you want the final time that they can work on it, a week past that date, and then you can do that. Do that late submission penalty. You can do it based on points or percentage. Allow partial credit, credit for the question, credit for show work. Access controls, prereqs. You can put prereqs. I never use that. Limit number of attempts students can work each question to. I think it defaults to 3 before they just mark them wrong. I think that's what that one was, but you can set this. Allow them to learning aids. If I choose that, if I don't want them to be able to see Ask My Instructor, I come here and click that, and that'll take that off. Study plan, importing, okay, and click Save and Assign. Okay, now that was P.5, wasn't it? But anyway, that's how you can modify that. Now let me show another thing. I'm going to go look at that P.5 here in a minute. But if I come here and choose Edit, click Next. Now, these are the available questions. So maybe I want to add some more. Then I can come over here and you choose the chapter, like this is Prereqs. You choose a section. This is P.5, I think. Yeah, there it is, P.5. And you can choose the objective type, like which type you want to look at. Like I didn't put any application exercises in there, so let me go look at those. Now I can come here, and it does that little business, but that's so small I can't even see any of it. But if I click Preview and Add down here, so I can come through here. If I like the problem, I just click Add, and it'll add it to the homework. Okay, Add there. I like that. Don't like that one. I'll just click Next. I like that one, so I'll click Add there. Once you're all done, you close that. And now over in our problems here, we got 3 new ones. And again, maybe I want to make these worth more point-wise. So I'll say 8 there, 8 here, 8 here. So you can set the points over here. And I'm just going to do a save and assign here. Okay. Other items you can do on that. You can set settings for the class, preview it, print it if you want. Now, this is where you should go to set your due dates. And I'd mentioned what do I do every week. Well, beginning of the semester, before the semester starts, you should come here, click that. And this is where you go and it lists all the assignments, and you can put individual due dates on them. You can put a start date on them. See how this says 11/4, 9/14? And these all say whatever. Used to be that if you didn't put the due date in first, you put start date first, it gave you a lot of errors. I'm not sure if they'll fix that, but let me go ahead and put a due date in. And I'm going to go ahead and choose January 18th. And then I'm going to select this box over here to select everything. And I'll say Apply to Selected. Okay. Now I'm select my start date. I'll click Apply to Selected. Now every one of these has been set to 11/4 to 1/18. Now you don't necessarily want the due date on all of them to be the end of the semester, so you can come in here and you can type in individual ones. I can change that to 1/25/13. If you want them to work past the due date, you can select this. Excuse me. I knew that was coming. Come down to here. Once you're happy with all your changes, and you say update all settings or update changes only, I'll update all settings. And yes. And I'll come back, say your update's been saved. That's where you begin a semester where you set all of your due dates. Looked at the Gradebook. I have no clue what Study Plan Manager is. Homepage Manager. Not sure what that is. Oh, create announcement. I don't use that. Settings. This is where you can do some various settings. Probably the most important one is learning aids here. If you want to shut off your Ask My Instructor for the entire course, you can come here and shut that off. If you want the calculator to be shown, you can click Calculator. And then click Save. You can also, if you click Edit here, I notice this right here. Use a lockdown browser in this course. Used for students from navigating away from the current assignment window, opening other browser windows. That's nice. I never have used this, so I couldn't tell you. That's interesting, though. Suppose if you didn't want them to have anything else open, you can choose that option. I find students pretty resourceful, though. Doing that, they're going to have their phone handy, and they'll have it open there, or they'll have a laptop handy or something. So you think you're doing it, but you're not going to accomplish anything. Okay, now we're all done with that. So let me close that. Let me go back and look to see what that one was where the students show the work. Let's go back to homework here. I'm going to click P.5. Now they're not all past due anymore. SW, show work. Let's see what that says. Aha! Show their work. So I click here and do X. Don't see squared, but let me do caret 2. Huh. It didn't change it automatically. Oh, here's the... There. So x squared. Boy, that's kind of a pain. X minus 7 plus 16, x minus 7. And then I want to factor out the x minus 7. I suppose this is nice if it comes test time. What if they have that on test too? I'm learning myself. I don't see the subscript again. I'm blind. There it is. I'm not sure I like that. Plus 16. There we go. And click Save. And then put my answer in here. X minus 7, x squared plus 16. And then click Save. Check your answer. Okay, I guess I gotta check my answer. Well done. And click Save. That's an interesting feature. I wonder if I can set it on test. Let me exit out of this. Then we'll go back to Control Panel. I'm going to go back to Gradebook. And click Homework and Test Manager. And go down to the Chapter 1 test. And I'll edit it. Okay, next. Bring up this problem. Student show work. How interesting. That brings up a lot of questions. I guess this is why you can have somebody take a test at home, and you're requiring them to show their steps, so you can show their homework. Now, I was kind of clumsy at first there, but I think a student would get a hang of it. You know, I was sitting there having a trouble. Yeah, about at the end. Okay, so then let me exit out. Okay, and now let me save and assign. Okay, now let me go take the test. So close that. And I'll click the breadcrumb here, bread trail, wherever that is. Click tests. And take my first test. And I'm ready to start. Okay. And it brings this up automatically, I guess. And you can even add a graph. Huh, interesting. Okay. I'm not sure what to do on this problem. Why do you torture us? Best guess. Let's see. 54 is 2 times 27, so x plus 2, x plus 27 equals 0. X plus 2 equals 0. X plus 27 equals 0. X equals negative 2. X equals negative 27. Okay. Click save there, and forget what I said exactly, but I think it was 2 and 27. Okay, next. And I'm tired working, so let me close that, and I'll submit this. Assign points to show work. Are you sure you want to leave this question? Yes. So I have 900. Do you want to submit this? Yes. Okay. Go to results. Boy, I didn't do very bad. I guess I better study harder next time. Or I didn't do very good, I mean. I'll wake up here eventually. Okay, so I'm an instructor. I'm coming in. I'm clicking Control Panel. Go to Gradebook. Go into David's, see what he's doing. It's like, man, he needs to study harder. I wonder if he even tried. 1 minute, 15 seconds? That's ridiculous. Click Review. Get a student emailing you that, oh, I tried real hard. It's like, yeah, it looks like you did. Okay, it brings up their work so I can see what they did. Can I type anything here? I guess I can. This is not right. Please see me. And zero's good for that. Huh, that's interesting. Show work is an interesting feature. Anyway, learned myself. Now for tests. Let me go to the Homework and Test Manager. Now homework you can work on past the due date if you set it up that way. But for tests, it doesn't allow that feature. Or currently doesn't. It might change. Nope, doesn't allow you to work on it past the due date. So, you know, and this is kind of your decision on how to set it up. Personally, the way I set it up is I set up all the homework and all the tests to be available from day one. A lot of people take online classes because something's going on in their life. Maybe they're going to have a baby in the middle of the semester, and they don't want to lose 2 or 3 weeks because in a normal class that might derail you. So instead of wasting an entire semester, then they'll work ahead. By opening up everything ahead of time, you really have no excuse saying, well, something came up. Well, you should have been working ahead if you knew this was going to come up. The only time you need to really worry about it then is like they just forget or something. You can limit the number of attempts. Like come here, if you want to limit the number of attempts, you can put 1 attempt down here if you want. You put 3. If you uncheck this, they can take it over and over as much as they want. Somewhere it talks about their test summary, show test results. You can show the test score and results, or you can hide the score and question results. Especially if you're using you don't want other people to know generally what's on the test. You can review the test anytime after submitting. Can never review it. You can look at those options. Somewhere it talks about the grading. Credit for show work. That show work's new. It's kind of interesting. help me solve this and view an example. I don't think you'd want that on a test, but ooh, it's kind of dangerous, I think. Save for later. Huh, I sure don't see the, probably looking right at it. Used to be you could tell it to take the maximum of their attempts. Or you could tell them to take the last attempt. But I don't see that. I think they've changed that. They moved it somewhere probably. Anyway, and click Save and Assign. Yeah, okay. Now, we're pretty well gone over, I think, about everything you need there. Again, I'm going to, at the very end of this, summarize what do you need to do. But let me go look at another course. I'm going to go back, click Courses here. And I created that Angel one. And it's actually done now. Now, if this is a brand new one I copied. Has everything by default listed here. You can do Control Panel. You can come here to Manage Course menu to add or take away items, depending upon. If you want to change them, instead of you saying take a test, you just want to say test. You can click Modify and do that. Instructor resources, staff information, assignments, discussion board. You can make that available again. Let me go into the Homework Test Manager. It says you have not created any. So to create a new assignment, you just click Create Assignment here. And you click Create Homework or Create Quiz, Test, or whatever. I'll say Create Homework. Homework name, this will be section, I'm assuming there's a 1.2. Click Next. Come up here, choose Chapter 1, looks like Basic Concepts. Now choose 1.2, Sets and Other Basic Concepts. So I come here, I usually select all of them to begin with, and I just click Preview and Add. And I go through and I see which ones I like, and I just click Add. It tells you different informations up here, like how hard it is, correct on first try, so forth. And this is not a guess. This is based upon what students have done. So students have taken these and they're updating the statistics, which is kind of cool. When you're all done, you close that, and it's like, okay, that's enough. Then I usually assign them points, maybe 2 points or 2. This will give you an estimate of how much time, say 6 minutes plus. It says questions without time are not included in this total, so these ones up here without time estimates aren't included. Click Next. Available due date. Let's say 11:30. Allow students to work change after due date. Okay. Pretty easy going. Yeah, those are all probably okay. Allow the instructors to import assignment. Click that and click Save and Assign. And now we have that. Let me grab a drink here. Now, I could do the change dates and assign status for all of them all at once with that. But you automatically set it individually. So your first time creating a course, you're going to have those set anyway. Then if it's a brand new course, I again want to go over to Gradebook and do change weights. And I have nothing but homework for now, so I'll put 100% of the course on homework and click Update. Now assignment weight's kind of important because you can modify it to make one worth more. Click Gradebook, and now I'm kind of set up and running. You do that for all of your sections. Let me close that. Now that's ready for students to use. Now let me show you, go back to courses. Let me show you a style, the new one. See, it says new design down here. Kind of threw me a little bit. I still haven't found where everything is, but let me click it. Not all of them have this new style, but they're going toward it. Over here, this looks different, and you can see there's a modify, where you modify the menu. You can choose different options you want on here. Add and arrange, style. Very similar. I mean, if you know the other, you know this. I'm kind of getting used to this new look. Down here where it says Course Tools, it's probably not expanded for you, but this is where you want to go down to. This is where your Gradebook is. This is where your Assignment Manager is. So those main ones we looked at. If I click Gradebook here, pop up that. Assignment Manager, pop up with that. I'm not going to bring anybody's grades up, but you can see this. Chat in class live. Not sure what that is. And I think that's all the new stuff I wanted to show you there. Now, just in general, to summarize. Each week, or actually maybe, each week. You need to go in and submit zeros for work not done. Then you need to update your grades. So you go in and update your grades in the Campus Connect. Each day, answer emails. You're going to find there's going to be very few emails. They're taking an online class so they don't have to deal with an instructor on a regular basis. They want to sit there and do it on their own for the most part. It doesn't do them any good for them to rely on you heavily in the course, unless you're just so on the ball you're answering emails every hour. Because if I'm working on P.5, I can't get number 2. I email you. I ask you how to work number 2, or give me some guidance on where to go onto it. I wait for you. I won't continue on the course. Well, I hear back from you 20 hours later. You tell me how to do number 2, so I clears it up. Okay, I go to number 3. I do that. Okay, 4 or 5. I hit number 6. It's like, okay, I don't know how to do this one. I email you. I figure there's no use to go on. Again, that's not really what it's meant for. It's meant for them to work on their own, and then if they have questions, once they get done working the entire section, maybe email you on those 3 or 4. So it's not what they might expect. It's meant for them to do it at their computer, and it'll actually it help me solve this type problems, have videos and so forth. Now I'm gonna go over kind of best practices in a different video. But these are kind of your main ones. And you'd be surprised. I've taught online since 2000. And this is the main thing right here. Students are expecting you to answer emails. And that's kind of the challenging part sometimes. Sometimes you become unplugged. You forget about the course. Because MyMathLab especially, it does so much for you that sometimes the questions come in, they're very few and far in between. So you just kind of slips your mind. Now these are just the kind of the main things to do. Now of course before the class starts, you either copy an existing course or create a new one. That's your choice. I think we're at our college. We're going to a course shells, so you'll have one to copy, but it's not available yet. Might be by the time you actually watch this video, because you may watch this a year from now. And then you change your due dates, and give your students the course ID, of course. And really, they're up and running at that point, and they're off on their own. So now there's one other thing I want to show you, and actually I got a link for it right here. MathHeals.com. You're welcome to give them this website. Put a link to it here if you want. You're not expected as an online instructor at this particular college anyway to create your own material. We chose Course Compass, MyMathLab, for a reason. It has lots of videos out there. It is very difficult for you to create your own material. You have to have some tech savvy to you, so forth. You're welcome to do it. Don't let us discourage that. If you want to do it, fantastic. But if you come here, you can give this to students. If they click class information, go into like college algebra. There's YouTube videos out here where they can click on this that will show them how to solve the problems. It goes through and blah 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 and shows solving problems. The like terms, 8x plus 4x gives us 12x. So if you get somebody emailing you saying they're having trouble, well, first you can point them to the publisher's videos on the site, and if they haven't looked at those, they should. And then if those didn't make sense to them, point them to these. You're welcome to go off and create your own, but the main thing I think we'd love to see here at the college is we'd love to see fast response time on and just answering emails, not spending time creating little Jing videos or this and that. Now, definitely creating something every week to kind of add the personal touch would be nice. Some people do discussions for that. You could do a little podcast where they can listen to a little audio clip of yourself. You could even do a little video if you wanted to, but definitely we're not expecting you to do this, because if you're doing this, you might as well just write your own textbook and get some money. So anyway, I think that's pretty well everything I wanted to show you on Course Compass. And again, get used to this different look, because I think it's coming about. And then you click courses to go back here. It's a little bit different, but if you understand the older style, you understand the newer style. Account. If you click account up here, this is where you can go to change your passwords and so forth. Anyway.